Well, hello again.
Hello.
Here we are once more.
Number 3.
Yeah, I think we both had eventful weeks this week.
Well,
in terms of the
fairly
channels,
eventful.
anyway.
Fairly eventful. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did a bonus video.
Yeah, it was weird. I was doing my bonus video as you posted your bonus video. I was like, just great minds think alike.
Indeed, without even discussing anything to do with bonus videos.
No, well, I think I've done 2 bonus videos now because I did a live trailer reaction.
Yes,
but
yes, for the film,
because that was unplanned. Didn't know didn't know Sony Entertainment were gonna. Is it Sony Entertainment or Warner? I didn't know that one of the production companies were gonna drop the film trailer. So
I didn't even know there was a film.
Yeah, I'd heard rumours, but then I'd heard they'd cast Ryan Reynolds, and then that was it. But I'll save that for later.
Yeah,
but yeah, so there was that. So I did a trailer reaction, and then whilst watching it a couple of times again after that, I realised there were loads of Pokemon in there reference-wise. I thought, I wonder how many.
Oh, what actual individual characters you mean?
Yeah, and it's
okay.
It's quite a lot.
Were they all Gen 1 ones? Because
there's a mix, but they are mainly Gen 1, yeah.
Because, watching through it, it wasn't like, there's a load of things here I don't recognise. So
yeah,
that was quite nice.
I think they've got loads in there, but the main, what's the word?
Yeah.
Grip of it looks Gen 1, so that's all right.
Mm.
Yeah, you've had a couple come out this week as well.
Yeah, well, I had Tuesday's gameplay feature as planned anyway, and yesterday's or yesterday as this goes actually gets released.
Yeah.
This Saturday, as it will be, review video as planned. But what with everything that happened Monday, Tuesday night, and kind of the repercussions of Sunday and a show that now I've got absolutely no interest in watching. I thought, well, I've kind of slightly missed the window, but I managed to finish work a little bit early, so I thought, well, I'll do something and get it out there now and kind of hopefully find some kind of a silver lining.
Fair enough.
Which, as it was announced today, might be one of the ways that they're planning on going for April, so it's not all bad. It's just kind of ruined Sunday for everyone.
Fair enough. Is that something you're planning to talk about today?
Not specifically that. No, I think I kind of said everything in the video about trying to not punch people in the face while you're in the middle of a scuffle. Yes, it's supposed to be kind of simulated fighting, but obviously there's throwing worked punches, as they're called, and then there's punching somebody in the face and breaking their nose and giving them a concussion.
Yeah, there's a few differences.
Yeah, so
is the review one that came out technically yesterday? I'll say yesterday. Is that the PS Plus review?
No, that is an old NXT takeover show that was held in London.
Oh, okay.
Funnily enough, so it's my 3rd one of those, so I just thought, well, I did the very, very first one, and then they did a few in the summer in the same location, so I did the first one of those, and I thought, well, as I am that British guy, let's do the one and only one that they've done over here.
Yeah, fair enough, that makes
sense.
sense.
Seeing as the main roster never do shows over here, let's do the NXT one, so that was that, and that was 2014, I think, or 15, I can't remember off the top of my head, because I haven't actually rewatched the show yet as I'm talking to you in order to review it, so I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, that's fine, there'll be time. That's fair.
Professionalism.
Oh yeah, that's all right. Well, it's like when I had my week off and I planned to do at least film 1 video a day, and then for 4 days I did nothing and just sat around and played games, and then for day 5 I thought, okay.
Video time.
Yeah, record 5 in 2 hours and then sit back and play more video games.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think I've done, well, as we're recording, in about 10 minutes time a video will go live, so that's interesting.
Nice.
That'll be the 3rd day in a row that I've done a video as well. I don't know what's happened, just I've ended up, I think it was just, if Detective Pikachu wasn't here, it would this would be my first video in It might even be like first video in a week actually, since the countries for a region.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, because, then obviously there was the reactions and then the noticing the different characters in that one trailer, I suppose. So,
yeah, that was just a bit of fun. That was just sort of 2-3 hours just go through. That was just more for enjoyment rather than, anything else. Yeah. And then
might have picked something up. Something's probably significant in there.
Yeah. So there's that, and then tomorrow I'm planning to record myself playing the first 10 minutes of Let's Go when I buy it. Because it's out tomorrow on day of recording. So that should be fun. Unless I get...
So it's been out... So it's been out for 2 days.
Yeah.
What do you think of it so far?
Oh, great! Yeah, I love the third bit.
The bit where the stuff happens.
Yeah, that's really good. That bit. Yeah, so it's I'm gonna obviously film the gameplay as well, and then a bit of reaction. Not cool. I'm not going to be overly, what's the word? Expressive, because I'm quite monotone and dry as it is. So it'll be more a case of wandering around my house, my bedroom, the pallet town, going into the lab, that sort of little 10 minutes of it, and just have a laugh.
The thing is, as well, you'll be experiencing the game for the first time anyway, so it's always awkward doing those kind of things when you haven't played the game and you don't know. Obviously, you've played like that older version of it, but everything's been reworked, so you're not. I'm presuming they've kind of altered bits and pieces here and there, just so that it's not a copy and paste of the original game, but with, hey, it looks pretty now.
Yeah, it seems like they've changed a lot.
Yeah, so it's kind of difficult to be overly expressive, at least I find anyway, while you're experiencing that for the first time.
Yeah, I think it'll be quite enjoyable actually.
Sounds better than a day at work.
Yeah, day off work, lovely. My last annual leave of the year, so bring on Christmas, yay.
Boom.
Did you want to kick off proceedings on the official stance?
Can do, yeah, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, I think it was my turn to go first last time, so
lovely. Nothing like a democracy.
Exactly.
Right, so this is based off of a video discussion that somebody that I follow on YouTube did. His name is Brian Zane, and he has the Wrestling with Regret channel. Okay. If anybody listening is even remotely interested, check him out. He does quite a lot of weird, funny skits, as well as review stuff and interviews and things like that. And he did a video based on intergender wrestling. Man-woman wrestling, obviously. Yeah. And in the comments section of his video and kind of responses that he was then posting on Twitter, he seemed to get quite a lot of backlash from people, specifically around 2 arguments that he was making, or 2 arguments that he was making were kind of heavily countered by a lot of people, and he was kind of having to really go to town on defending his initial standpoint. Okay. So
did he have a certain opinion either way, or was he sort of presenting an unbiased view?
No, it was very much he had an opinion and was kind of defending his opinion that he then carried on defending. Okay. And was basically shooting down anyone that argued against him in, I think, personally, a fair way, and I think the arguments that the other people had were kind of a bit childish, to be honest, and he was kind of able to not kind of take the high ground with it, because I don't really think that was required, but he was arguing from a point of sense. He's been involved in the business himself personally as a performer and as a manager, and as a commentator for, I think, about 12 years. Okay. So he's very heavily involved in it. And really what I wanted to do with you was get your initial thoughts on it, and then kind of present these arguments that were being made against him one at a time, and just see if that kind of changes your thinking, really, and change your standpoint
Okay.
as to how you feel about it,
Okay. Then.
kind of from an outsider's perspective.
Yeah, go for it. Ignore the vibrating. That was my phone going off. Do apologise.
Fair days. That's all right. So, I mean, obviously, in terms of just a starting point, do you have kind of any thoughts one way or the other as to... Obviously, it's a simulated fight.
Yeah.
It's men and women in the ring facing off against each other, either just one against one or 2 on 2, like a team of a man and a woman versus a man and a woman, or kind of various combinations thereof.
Yeah. Oh, I hadn't even thought of the 2 on 2. Well, obviously because it's what's the word for it? Obviously it's predetermined.
Mm-hmm.
I
like how you say that and not fake.
Yeah, yeah, that's predetermined. Unless you get knocked unconscious or a broken nose. It's. I have no problem with the initial, man on woman, or even two men on 2 women, or whatever. Mm-hmm. It happens in other sports like tennis, for example. So it's a thing that can happen. I know that.
True.
Yeah, I know it's not.
The one thing I would argue against that is obviously that's always one man and a woman against a man and a woman.
Yeah, true.
Whereas obviously you'd never get like Roger Federer versus Serena Williams, although that would probably be a very good match.
Actually, I'd watch that.
To be fair,
Yeah.
But that never happens in legitimate sport. You never get it in a running race. You never get a woman's football team versus a man's football team.
No, true.
It's only ever mixed versus mixed.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no, I hadn't considered
And
that.
the vast majority of this is usually, anyway, is a man versus a woman.
Yeah, I think where it's obviously predetermined, like they are. It's if it's done well, then it shouldn't be a problem for me on a general scale. If they've done it to a point where they're really trying to drive the point home, there is a part where it goes beyond the pale, if that makes sense. Like they try and make not too big a deal out of it. That's the wrong choice entirely. But sort of like they try and emphasise the point too much. You start to become, if they're trying to make a point of it being okay, if you emphasise it too much, you start to over exaggerate.
So really, just present it as this is a match. This person's facing this person. Who's going to win?
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
like they do with any other.
Yeah, I mean,
match.
you can highlight the fact that they're different genders for us. It's not that you have to completely ignore it, but I think there's a perfect line of where it should be, and you need to. I think as long as it sits in there, then I shouldn't see it being a problem at all, really.
Well, there were 2 main arguments. One was it promotes like domestic violence.
Right. Okay.
Because obviously there is, I wouldn't say I'll backtrack on that. I was going to say it's not a huge problem. It probably is a bigger problem than people are aware of. On both sides, women being physically and mentally abusive towards men, and obviously the other way around does get reported a lot more. And by and large, there is quite a young audience that would watch this and could potentially see that as okay.
Yeah, true.
See, his argument against that was, well, it's a simulated fight.
Yeah.
A man versus a man or a woman against a woman could potentially, if you go down that route, just kind of advertise, if you like, physical violence between people. These 2 people have an issue with each other. Let's have a fight to see who wins. And I suppose it's probably not, certainly not socially as unacceptable as just somebody assaulting somebody else, but it's still a crime.
Yeah.
In the real world. And the argument kind of that he was putting forward was, well, yeah, but this is a simulation, it's a sport, it's, as you say, predetermined. It's not meant to kind of shine a light on society and go, hey, this is a thing that you should do, let's beat each other up.
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing that would make a statement. This is it's the kind of place where people go to escape those sort of things, to be honest. That's what I see.
Exactly, yeah. It's 2 characters.
Yeah. Because obviously,
telling a story outside of and inside of the ring.
Yeah, because obviously, I think like people like like young 21-year-old people like yourself, there, British guy. They
21.
Yeah. I mean, you obviously know it's simulated, and you're not going there for it to be serious as such. Obviously, you're going to enjoy it, so it's serious to a point in within your own enjoyment. But it's I think people who are already in that mindset aren't going to then go out and become abusive to their partners. I think even if that does happen, that would be. I think that's less likely to happen than someone that's going to play, for example, like a Grand Theft Auto game or something. I think that's significantly more likely.
There must be plenty of times in, say, even just a Marvel film.
Yeah.
Where
exactly.
Scarlett Johansson gets the holy bejesus beaten out of her by a predominantly male cast.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first scene she was introduced in Avengers, the first film, which I've got up there, actually. I think the first scene she's introduced, she's getting interrogated by two men, and she's tied up in a chair.
Yeah.
And if people are fine with that and then will flock to go see the series of films, I don't see how this could be much different. Whereas essentially it's the same thing, just in front of a live audience in a ring. Do you call it a ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
A square ring.
Yeah. Instead of like on a screen pre-recorded, it's in a live audience in a ring. I mean, it's so, I don't see how it can be much different.
Well, the other argument, very, very quickly, before we wrap this up, was the fact that it's unrealistic, in inverted commas.
Right,
because how on earth could a woman possibly beat up a man?
Right, okay.
Which is a ridiculous statement anyway, because men and women all come in various different shapes and sizes.
Oh, yeah.
And also, it's not presented as whoever is the strongest wins, even between two women and two men.
Yeah.
There is a moveset involved. There are kind of ingrained tactics, if you like. There are times when you get a 7 foot, 300-pound man lose to a 5'8" guy who weighs about 120 pounds.
Yeah.
Because he manages to out-wrestle him, or out-manoeuvre him, or outthink him, and outperform him. So what really is the difference?
It's almost like in basketball, when you've got everyone who's about 6'10", and then every now and again you get that one guy that's like 5'1", but he can get through everyone. He literally can just be like, "Yep, I'll duck under your arm. That's fine." It's
because he outthinks them and outplays them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, with it being predetermined, you can play that into the storyline.
Yeah.
They can work on a particular body part. They can use speed. They can kind of get them into a position where, if the match calls for it, they can use weapons and stuff to gain the upper hand.
Yeah.
So I think that is quite it would sort of seem like an easier argument to discount, purely because there have been many, many matches throughout history, same with the women as well, where you get kind of the larger, stockier woman losing to a short, slender woman because she gets outperformed.
And I'm sure it wouldn't be long until you get I don't know how it works, but I'm sure it wouldn't be long until you get not exactly a romance interest, but a romantic interest fight.
Yeah, possibly.
I don't know if you get those sorts of kayfabes. See, I remembered.
Yeah, he did a word.
Yeah, I don't know if you get those sorts of kayfabes between men and women wrestlers, but I'm sure, not like EastEnders style, but
It used to be the case more sort of 20 years ago, when this wasn't really too much of an issue. Certainly in WWE, I'm kind of speaking more from WWE perspective, because on the independent scene, there are plenty of matches that have kind of taken place even just this year between men and women, and people don't even really bat an eyelid.
Yeah.
But obviously, with the WWE being a PG brand now, that's kind of, I think, why they're being quite resistant with it. But I mean, if anyone has seen anything that Becky Lynch has been doing, apart from being punched in the face by Nia Jax and having a broken nose, there are plenty of men on the roster that I would really get invested in her having a match with and seeing how it plays out.
Yeah.
because I think it would just be a very, very good, different matchup that you wouldn't see very often.
Yeah, no, I agree. That could work. I think there's ways.
And that was basically what he was arguing as well. He was very much in support of it, and was almost saying that it needs to be the next step for the women's roster, so that they're not kind of shoehorned into this corner where they all fight each other, because it's a much smaller roster anyway. They could do with breaking out of that, and not necessarily all the time, not every week, not like always being in a feud with a man all the time, but every now and then just bleed one or two of them over into the men's side of things, or vice versa, and just kind of mix it up a bit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that sounds alright.
I was just kind of interested if you had kind of an outsider's perspective, but it seems like you're coming from the same point as him and the same point as me, really, that it's entertainment, and we know it's entertainment. Yeah. And as long as we allow ourselves to just get lost in what's happening, if it's done well, as you said, do it. And if it's done badly, it doesn't really matter that it's a man versus a woman, because there have been plenty of men matches that have been awful, and we have to watch them.
Yeah. It would definitely freshen it up a bit.
Fair dues. Well, thank you for your input, sir.
That's all right.
I will pass the baton straight over to you then.
Well, I'll probably just go back to what I was talking about earlier, because I don't know if I've mentioned it in any video I've ever done. But Friday the 16th of November, tomorrow as we record, 2 days ago as this is released, the Let's Go games for Nintendo Switch are released. Not first Pokemon games on Nintendo Switch, because we got Pokken Tournament, which is like Tekken but Pokemon. It's actually quite good.
Okay.
This is the first, I'm going to say, core series game. It's not 100% core. It's not like they haven't got their abilities and the items and aren't the same, and it's only Generation 1 Pokemon, but it's sort of like a bridge to the bigger game they're doing next year. The next generation game next year on the Switch. I think that's... I'm booking the week off for that. That's going to be incredible. But still, I'm going to be getting it tomorrow. I'm going to be getting Let's Go Eevee tomorrow. I'm going to be playing that, and that's going to be great. And I'm going to play through it all just for pure entertainment and enjoyment. But also, what I'm going to be doing is having another user, because you can have different users on the Switch. So I've got a Pokepid user, and second, I've just called it Link and put a picture of Link in from Legend of Zelda, and I've got a few save files on there. So what I'm going to do is have a Let's Go save file on that user, because you can do that. You can have multiple saves on the same console.
Handy.
So on that, I'm going to start recording it and try and do a sort of like Let's Play series. People can watch along if they want. I'll try and do like an hour at a time. I'm going to post hour-long videos, or 45 minutes. So it's going to be long ones, but it'll be fun. It'll be a laugh. That'll be over the course of a good few months probably. So
are you going to presumably start playing through it on your own thing first?
Yeah.
And then kind of go back to the beginning so that you sort of know what you're going to get as you play through it? Does that make sense?
Well, when I've played it for my own enjoyment, sort of when I get to the post game of it, and I've explored a lot of that, and I know what you can do post game, what opens up then, because I think there's the Master Trainers is post game, I think. And those Master Trainers there are 151 trainers, and they'll take you on a one-on-one battle, and you take them on with the same Pokemon, one-on-one, no items allowed, and if you win, you become, like, say, for example, let's do Pikachu, for example. That's a really bad example, because it's the obvious one, but we'll go with it. But, there'll be a trainer in Kanto somewhere that has a Pikachu, and you take it on with your Pikachu, one-on-one.
Right.
No items allowed. Only those two, only that Pokemon, and if you win, you become like the Master Pikachu trainer, and then you carry on.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be, so once I think I get to that sort of level, that sort of stage in the game, I'll then, alongside that for my own enjoyment, start the Let's Play series.
Oh, okay, so it won't be like play it for 5 hours and then go back to the other save file and play like an hour or two.
No, I'm going to enjoy the game because I'm impatient. Yeah. But what I thought I'd do is help get some help from that British guy on what that party will be for the Let's Play series.
Okay.
So I'm just basically going to go through all the types we now have. Some of them will have very minimal Pokemon with them because they're new types that didn't exist in this generation. But
are they keeping the new types?
Yeah.
Right.
So you can have Alolan forms, which some of the Pokemon have the same type.
Okay.
For example, let's get an example. An Alolan Meowth is now Dark Normal, not just Normal, to accommodate for the new types.
Oh, okay.
And you can bring them across from Pokemon Go on your phone. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot you can actually do. But either way, yeah. So I'm gonna I've categorised them into 6 groups, and then categorised the types into 6 groups, and you'll see as we go along. Actually.
What do you want then? One from each group?
Sort of, yeah. I'm going to give you 3 types, and then you'll see a type, and then from those types, I'll give you 3 Pokemon. Like for example, the first 3 are Fire, Grass, Water.
Okay.
So if you were to pick a type out of those, what would you go for?
Grass.
Grass. There you go then. Cool. So then after that, I have 3 Grass type Pokemon here. So I've chose Victory Bell, Tangela, and Venusaur. And I didn't,
I think I will say Victory Bell.
Yeah. Any reason?
Yeah, I don't want to go for Venusaur.
Okay.
Because it's the obvious one.
Yeah.
And I don't like Tangela.
No, that's fair enough.
Because it looks stupid. It looks like a 1970s Doctor Who villain.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't look like a Doctor Who villain of nowadays because there aren't any.
True.
Because there aren't any aliens anymore. Except the one that looks like Niffler from Futurama. But that's...
Yeah.
But that's a different story. Is that... Yeah. Alright then. Well, then the next 3 types I've got here are Fighting, Psychic, and Dark.
I'm going to go with Dark because I've got no idea who's going to be in that.
Okay. Well, in that case, there are no Dark types in the Generation 1, obviously.
Yeah.
But Alolan forms, which were introduced in Sun and Moon, we do have some. We've got Alolan Raticate, Alolan Persian, or Alolan Muck. And if you want to use your phone to look up what they look like, feel free.
Nope, I can see them all in my head. I'm that sad. Persian is a big Meowth, isn't it, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to think of just the normal versions of those.
Yeah.
Or I should say original. There you go.
I think Muck.
Yeah, that's lovely. All right, yeah, that's all right.
Because I remember them being very annoying to fight, so they're always handy to have.
Alolan Muck was actually pretty awesome. It's multicoloured, but the colours drip down with its ooze, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah. If you ever get a few minutes, just type Alolan Muck GIF or something, and you'll see it. It's really good. Anyway, all right then. The next few types, I've got Ghost, Normal, and Steel. But I implore you not to choose Steel.
Oh.
Because there's only 2 and they're the same.
Oh, fair enough. I think I will go with Psychic.
Okay. Well,
because they always used to wind me up.
You can do, but that wasn't in that 3.
Wasn't it?
Ghost.
What was it?
Ghost, Normal, and Steel.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Ghost.
Fair enough. Yeah, Steel was only Magnemite and Magneton because they're now Electric Steel. So.
Oh, okay. Because technically they're
So that would have been a very quick one. Sorry, what type did you say?
Ghost.
Ghost. Oh, okay then.
I nearly said Psychic again.
Well, Ghost. Interestingly, we've only got Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar, but I would happily use any of them individually, even if they weren't fully evolved. So, out of those 3, Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar, what would you go for?
I can't think what Gengar is.
Gengar, the big ghost one, purple one, spiky.
Isn't that a Haunter?
No, that's Haunter's like the body with the 2 hands, and then it evolves into Gengar.
Oh, right, that's why. Okay, I'm going to go with Haunter then.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Purely because I remembered that one more.
In my top 3 favourite Pokemon. There you go.
Yeah.
Alright, the next 3 types. The last set that's going to involve a type you've never heard of. So we've got Bug, Poison, and Fairy. Which is a type.
I can kind of vaguely guess what's going to be in Fairy.
Right.
I'm going to go... Was it Poison and Bug?
Yeah, Bug, Poison, Fairy.
I'm going to go with Poison.
Okay then. Well, quite similar ones in here. We've got Weezing, Muck, and Arbok. But I can swap Muck out for something else if you wanted. Actually, no. I'll tell you what. Interestingly, we'll go like Jesse and James. We'll go Weezing or Arbok.
Okay.
There you go.
That makes sense. I was going to say Arbok anyway,
Oh, okay.
so...
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
That learns Glare, which can paralyse, so that's good.
Andy.
Alright then. The next 3, second to last 3, penultimate 3, I've got Rock, Ground, and Electric.
I think we need an element again, so I'm going to go with Electric.
That's fair enough. Interesting ones here. I've got Electrode, Electabuzz, or Raichu. Raichu, fair enough. I'm going to be getting Let's Go Eevee, but you can still catch Eevee and Pikachu. I don't know if you can catch both on both games.
What is the difference between them then?
I don't overly know yet.
Alright. Is it kind of like when they had Red and Blue and that you had different...
Yeah. I mean, one of them
in different places?
One of them you start with Pikachu, one of them you start with Eevee.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of version exclusives, but I don't really know much after that.
Okay.
But anyway, the last 3 types then we've got are Dragon, Flying, and Ice.
Dragon, Flying, and Ice.
Yeah.
Let's go with Flying.
Okay then. There's some interesting ones in here as well, actually. You got Fearow, Dodrio, or Pidgeot, which I would call Pokey-Pidgeot if I got one.
I was hoping that they would, be the Pidgey versions, so we'll go for Pidgeot.
Yeah, go for it. That can be caught right in the beginning. Pokey-Pidgeot, that'll be in there.
That was always one of my favourites.
Yeah, I do like it.
Pidgey.
All right then. Well, that is it then. So my party for my highly influenced party, which I think I won't be able to get the Alolan forms till late on, but I will try. So my party is going to be Victory Bell, which I think you can get near the beginning. Actually, I've seen it in Viridian Forest. So Victory Bell, Alolan Muck, Haunter, Arbok, Raichu, and Pidgeot. That sounds alright. I'm alright with that.
Seems quite varied.
Yeah, you can get loads of those early. Well, at least you could on Red and Blue anyway, so I'm assuming they've got similar this time.
Very probably, I would have thought.
Alright then, well there you go. That was my bit. I just got my, just wanted to get my party sorted for the second run through, which I have. I haven't actually planned the party for my first run through tomorrow, so I haven't thought about this.
Are you not going to just kind of see what you catch as you catch it?
Yeah, because I've got a feeling they're all going to be in different locations, or at least more in a location than just like Rattata and Pidgey on the first route.
I really hope so. Yeah, and then you get Caterpie.
Yeah, I've seen. I don't know how true it's going to be to the game, but I've seen footage of like Bellsprout's, Bulbasaur, Oddish in Viridian Forest.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Cool.
But yeah, no, thanks for that.
That's all right. And if it all goes horribly awful with that party, it's not my fault.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Just putting that out there now. Don't blame me.
I'll call one of them TBG, but I don't know which one. I'll think about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. That's all I've got to add. To be honest.
Okie doke.
Until next fortnight, anyway. When
Indeed.
I'm sure I'll give you a lowdown on how it's gone.
Well, I'm sure we will have seen a few videos by then, would we not?
Yeah, and I've got my super secret project that follows on from the #1 country for a region. I've got to do that.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't the playing it through under a new.
No, this is
that wasn't the super secret.
No, it's my #1 country for a region has spawned a new series of something, which I will make a video of at some point next week.
Cool.
Yeah, which I've teased in a few videos, but no one will know. But I'll let them know when I announce it. I'll go back
When
and
you've yeah.
I'll show clips of my
okay.
previous videos and say, "Hey, look here."
Cool.
But yeah,
And that will be what, recorded next week or released next week?
both.
Oh,
if I
okay.
can get myself away from the game. Yes, if you see inactivity from me for the next week or so, yeah, you'll.
You're busy with a Switch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair dues.
But yeah, that's all I've got. Yeah, that's all I've got.
Cool.
I'm going to go and share my latest video that's come on 20 minutes ago.
Lovely stuff.
Lovely. All right then.
Cool.
All right. Well, see you in 2 weeks' time then. Well, speak to you in
Indeed.
2 weeks' time.
Enjoy your day off.
Oh, I will. Yeah.
And I expect the game to be completed, or at least the first run through, by the time this video goes live.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It probably will be the case, I'm thinking.
I'd hope so. I at least would want to complete the Elite Four by then.
Yeah, fair
We'll
dues.
see the post game. 151 battles might take a while.
Well, you got to collect them all first.
Yeah,
haven't you?
exactly. And get them strong enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right then.
Okay.
Okay. I'll see you in a fortnight.
Till next time, we'll see you soon.
Till next time.